everyone. Welcome to another edition of Lunch Break with ATI, Actors Theater of Indiana's weekly podcast. ATI is the resident professional theater company at the Center for the Performing Arts in Carmel, Indiana, US of A. And today I have Maxwell Ogunfunwa.
Yes.
Is that it right?
Yeah.
Ogunfunwa.
Yeah.
But you got to get the goo in there.
Yeah. It's like a slur of words.
Yeah,
Slur all the consonants together.
Maxwell Ogunfunwa. All right. Then he asked my last name, and I said Collins. Is another of the podcasts. I have been chatting and interviewing some of Scott's closest friends who are entrepreneurs and who have started their own businesses and who are out there really making a go of it independently by themselves. And so they've all been great guys. Maxwell, I hope you live up to that reputation. I'm sure you will. And so far, so good.
Yeah, I hope so.
So that's it. So I think you might be the last.
You saved the best for last, of course.
And obviously Scott did.
Yeah,
you know. We've had some of his pals bidding for the BFF.
But I am
position.
The best friend, of course.
Now, hold on. because I was asking you before we started, actually how you met Scott, because all these guys have met Scott in different ways, either swimming or school, the Heron School of Design, or they knew each other since they were like 5 years old, going to school. Now, but you met him through another friend.
Yes.
Clay.
Another guest of the show.
Yes, Clay, who was on here.
Yeah.
But the real thing has been what? The pickleball.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So Scott's been really diehard in getting all these guys together to play pickleball every week. How many times you play?
A week?
Yeah.
2 to 3, maybe?
2 to 3 times a week with all the guys.
Oh, okay. Once a week we all play together.
Okay.
But
You got really hooked. Yeah.
I've been hooked.
Okay. So I know, and everyone is so hooked on it, and I have never done it. I took tennis lessons as a kid.
Oh, Cindy, you would love it.
I know, that's what everybody says.
You'd love it.
That's what everybody tells me. Yeah. My niece and her fiance are so into it. It's crazy.
It's a really fun activity. It's social, and it's kind of low lift in comparison to tennis.
Exactly. It's smaller.
Yeah, much
and
smaller.
You don't have to serve overhand, right?
Exactly.
Everything's kind of an underhand thing.
Less energy, too.
Is the ball like more of a wiffle ball?
It is.
Yeah.
And so you don't really need to be worried about it hitting you and you breaking something or hurting yourself, really. I mean, pickleballs can hurt, but it's not to the same extent as a tennis ball.
Yeah, exactly. And I would actually like to try it out. I have no qualms against trying it.
Well, we can invite you out sometime and you can play with all of us.
I would accept the invitation.
Wonderful.
Maxwell.
Yeah.
So now, let's put the pickleball aside. Let's talk about you. So what do you do?
Yeah, so I do quite a bit.
Okay.
And I've done quite a bit, but currently right now I'm a senior data engineer at a pharmaceutical tech company. And essentially we help them manage all the data that comes in from pharmaceutical manufacturers. And they distribute their drugs to Medicaid programs. And we essentially need to help them organize all of that because inside of that distribution of drugs, sometimes they get rebates by law on those drugs.
Yes.
And we have to help them find those whenever they sell certain drugs to certain Medicaid programs to certain customers who qualify for rebates. We help them find those rebates.
Maybe a senior.
Exactly.
Like people who are senior citizens.
Or a vulnerable population.
Okay, and they'll get those discounts on a prescription drug that they need. Okay.
Yeah.
So how before that? What were you doing? Where'd you go to school? What do you think your vision was going to be? You know what I mean? Like, did you ever think I'm going to work for? I'm going to be I'm going to work for pharmaceuticals, and you know what I mean. I mean, did you think that, or what was your your vision?
It's always been really interesting. So I've loved computers since I was a child. I remember my mom getting us I don't remember which computer it was, but it had Windows 2000 on it. And I remember the screensavers. It had the pipes. I really liked the pipes one. And it had like just the background. It was just a really phenomenal experience as a child.
Yeah.
And I've always been really interested in the video games. So kind of skipping forward a little bit, I went to college thinking I would study computer science.
Okay.
I went through all the class, did the math, did all the physics and all the stuff. And I just didn't really like it.
Yeah.
And I was taking psychology as my minor. And I found it to be extremely fascinating and really really engaging, and I loved the concepts, and the thought of making the study of the human mind a science really fascinated me. And so from there, I pivoted and I got my bachelor's in psychology instead and a minor in economics.
Okay.
And so this was kind of a restructuring of Maxwell's perspective of self and what I would do in the world. But I always knew I wanted to program, and I always knew I wanted to code. So that desire for computer science and love for understanding of how computers and technology works never went away.
Yeah.
But I now started to see the world a bit differently because I was like, these two worlds can come together really well.
Okay.
And how they came together in my mind was machine learning and AI. And so I started going down this path of like, how can I actualize and bring machine learning and AI to our world around us? Fortunate for me, other people were having the same idea, and now we're kind of where we are today. And so I worked for an insurance company, insurance enterprise,
Okay.
just to get you to where I am today, right?
God.
And I was lucky enough to be able to be an enterprise architect on this team, and I was helping them really develop their technology as a strategy. How are we going to use technology to grow the company and understand our industry? And this led me to a lot of deep revelations, but one of the biggest ones is that everyone's going to want machine learning and AI within their organizations and their businesses.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of the golden goose that helps propel us into the future.
Okay.
However, without data being organized in a way that can be scalable, cleaned, understood by everyone, you won't really be able to do any of that without having clean data. So I pivoted again and became a data engineer, which is kind of where I am today, kind of on this goal to study machine learning and the human mind and how the two worlds mix together.
Okay. Woo! Now, let me ask you something, and because with what you're doing, AI has really taken off
Oh, yeah.
in a major way. And there's some parts of AI that I absolutely think are, necessities, and essential. And there's some parts of AI that I don't.
Yeah.
Because I believe in, AI not taking over everything, of course.
Sure.
And especially as an actor and with film and TV, AI has been a big, fight.
Oh, yeah.
For it to not take over for the actor. And so that's just my opinion. But with you, with what you're doing, and with what AI and you have to work with it. What's the pros and what's the cons? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want it taking over so you don't have a job, right?
Yeah.
There must be the humans must be the human touch
They're
has to be
essential.
in there.
Yeah,
right?
they're essential.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot to your question, and I think there's multiple ways I can answer it, but I love history in the sense of like using history as a form of entertainment, but also as an educational tool. And so we don't have to go too far back to really understand some of the impacts that we'll see with AI. And I'll just kind of welcome us to look at the internet, right? And the dawn of the internet. Fortunate for us, we were born before the internet is what it is today, so we remember that world and what it looks like.
Yeah, I really remember it.
Yeah, I kind of remember it.
I really remember it.
And so, travel agents used to be a thing. You would go to a travel agent
right.
and you would say, hey, I want to go to this location, or
that's right.
where are the destinations that are available? What will I do when I get there? Where will I stay? Who will pick me up from the airport?
Everything.
The whole thing.
The whole shebang.
And now that's like gone.
Well, also making a plane reservation.
Yeah. Yeah, even that. Someone to get your ticket
You had
for
to
you.
call the airline.
That's wild. I can't even
You
imagine
actually
that. Because
spoke with someone.
there's so many steps. There's so many steps.
Yeah.
But now we go on to Google Flights, or wherever you may go, and you type in your destination and you click a button, and now you have a ticket and you show up at the airport. Like,
That's right.
I think that's going to happen with AI. There are going to be certain industries and sectors that are just going to be easily automated, and the people who used to work in those sectors will transition into other industries and other sectors and develop those places. And I think what's going to happen as a result of machine learning, to maybe deeply answer your question in regards to the Actors Guild, is I think creativity is going to become a commodity. We're going to really want creative people to come and utilize these tools and create even more interactive interactive experiences for you and I to experience. And so right now, we are kind of in this age where it's all on text, so you can type something into your AI and it'll give you a response. How creative can we make that for people? How can we give them better tools to create, new experiences and industries for us? And so I think those are going to be some of the pros, but then also the cons based upon history of what we've seen.
Well, and the con to me is people aren't using their brains.
Yeah, potentially.
Tell me how to do this. Boop. This new thing called Einstein.
Yeah.
Tell me how to do it. Okay, here, this is how you present it. Done. I'm sorry. That's it?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, anybody can do that. That's, you know what I'm saying? Anyone can, it's almost like anybody. Where is the mind? Not what you're doing, not you, but like, where is the creativity? Where is you're actually thinking and using your mind? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's a cop out with certain AI things. But the whole listen, SAG-AFTRA, the union and all that, and film and TV, which is what I do as well as stage.
Cool.
That's a completely separate. Two different things we're talking about. You know what I mean? That's completely replacing humans in background or extras, or you know what I mean. That's not talking about, oh cool, this was done with computer. Look at the scenery. Look at the that green screen's been around for a while. On TV. That's not new. Okay, it's the humans that we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what you do, you are doing. You are right. What you are doing is you actually are using your brain. You're smart, and you seem to look into different things. You like history. You took psych, right? So, like you said, you want to bring these two things together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be a shame to get rid of that.
For
also,
sure. And
right?
I mean, I think it's going to require people to be more multidisciplinary, right? Like, we're going to have people who can use multiple parts of their knowledge and their brains to really create more holistic experiences. But more importantly, I think that we're going to be able to offer resources to people who don't have as many resources, but are having the crazy ideas.
Yeah.
I really love Inception, the movie. I love The Dark Knight. And more so, I think Christopher Nolan, like, he did a great job, like... It was a phenomenal, set of experiences that he was able to put us through using his imagination.
Yes.
I imagine a 20-year-old Mr. Nolan in university, and he doesn't have that much money. He doesn't have the green screen. Can we give that person AI and see what they can create for us, right? Do we give that person a Grammy because they created this amazing experience, even though they didn't have the resources to do so? I think that's kind of what the internet did, like your mom and pop store in Carmel, Indiana, which people, might at the time didn't know about, can now become an internet sensation and now distribute.
And I agree
to the
with you
whole
on that.
world,
I agree
right?
as far as getting your name out there and getting.
Sure.
I absolutely. It's getting known, especially for small business.
It's super
and local
important.
businesses. I do agree with that, absolutely. And I think that is a pro, of course, of the internet, just like you say. Listen, I'm not on Facebook, okay?
Don't blame me.
I'm not. But, however, for a business,
Yeah.
for any kind of business, this company has a Facebook page. I think it's imperative.
Yeah.
I think it's imperative for any business and to actually have a Facebook page. And personally, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
But for a business, I do think that's important. And for LinkedIn and all that, I do.
Yeah.
But so, you're working for this? Okay, so what is the company you work for?
Calderos.
Calderos.
Calderos. It's like a R-O-S.
Calderos.
Yeah.
Do you work from home a lot? Or do you go in?
They're based in Chicago, so I'm 100% remote.
Do you go up there? Do you have
I've
to
been
go up there?
once.
Okay.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's like your home office, right?
Yeah,
Which
essentially.
is what is pretty, kind
Pros
of,
and cons.
Yeah,
Pros
yeah,
and
right.
cons.
You're not getting up. You're not going to the office. You're like, I'm at home. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
You don't seem that kind of a person. You seem very organized and
Somewhat.
And I mean, I've known you for 5 minutes, but maybe now 10. But I mean, you do seem like, obviously you wouldn't be working for this company if you were some sort of, slouch.
I try to be
You know
productive.
what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's
Well, and
important.
you sound like that you like to keep your mind sharp and busy with everything that
Curiosity.
it looks like that you what you did in school, and you made your major and minor, and being interested in what you say, history. You know, you get a lot going on up there,
A lot.
right?
A lot.
Yeah. So it's good to keep the mind active, obviously, right? Does this job, when you doing this job, let me ask you, what do you get out of it? Like, what do you, your sense of accomplishment, I guess, is what I'm asking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel that you are, what do you feel you're giving? See what I mean? With it,
No,
you
I
know,
understand.
because some people just are doing a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just, that's it. They do their job. They got to make money, and that's. I'm not. Oh, believe me, I'm not saying anything bad against that.
No, I understand. Yeah.
You know, everybody. My gosh, if everybody's yay, work, wonderful. But yeah, what do you feel when you do this? You know, does it make you feel that you have done some good? I guess is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, there's maybe two parts to my answer. I think the first part is I'm so grateful to have been able to find something that I love to do at such an early age and to be able to dive into that and build a career on that. So that is in its own right so fulfilling. You know, like I wake up, I work from home, I get to do what I want to do. Like that in and of itself, like win.
Yes.
Secondly, working in the healthcare, it's the first healthcare company I've ever worked for. It's very fascinating to see how it works because, like, we're not just talking like a big business. Like, these are massive corporations that have a global footprint, and they are doing things at scale that, you know, is only precedent to them. Like, there's so many organizations that we work with that it's just kind of it's wild to think about the scale of impact they have on our world. So being able to be a part of that's really fascinating because being able to understand big pharma from kind of an internal perspective
That's right.
gives
Because
me
big
an
pharma's a big
understanding.
deal. Everybody's like, big pharma, big
It's a
pharma.
big
It's
deal.
it's
It's a
you
big
know,
deal.
it's getting pretty intense.
It's a polarizing concept, you know,
Yeah.
because you can be on either side of it, and that's fair and that's okay. But just boots on the ground, staring from inside of the beast, it's like there's a lot going on here, and seeing the impacts that they're having on people's lives, and being able to measure that, and maybe even try to make it better, and make the system more transparent, and try to get inside and see how you can make it better, because a lot of parts of Americans' healthcare system is like just bad.
It is.
Bad. And I don't feel bad saying that because like
Yeah.
I think most people would agree
Yeah, it
in
is,
some
yeah.
sense or
It's
another.
always been a hot topic.
Yes.
It's always been one of the main topics in politics and for people running that the healthcare system is flawed.
Yeah.
And I think, not to get into any kind of politics, but this country is so big. I mean, the United States of America is so huge, right? Bigger than most countries. Actually,
Texas
I
is
think
bigger than most
I
countries.
think exactly. I was going to say some of our states are bigger than most countries. Exactly, Texas, right? So I understand the difficulty in this country with it. I get it. You know, but I also understand that a person might need a prescription and they do really need it. You know what I mean? They really do need this drug,
Yeah.
and it might be difficult for them to get this because they can't afford it.
Exactly.
You know?
Especially with
So
some of
I
the cost.
can see, but you need prescription drugs. We must have them.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, how do these people who really do need them get them if they can? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then if you want to get even more into the dirt of it,
Into
it's
the
like
beast.
we live in a capitalistic society. So we
Yes.
don't just want to give away drugs for free, but some people, because America's a large country, it means we have different people of different social economical statuses.
That's right.
How do we make sure that everyone
Right.
has access to these drugs?
That's right.
And how do we do so in a way that feels fair for everyone?
That's right. Because also, I don't mean to say, but yes, who people also need to, you know, we can't get all into this now. This is getting into the big pharma thing.
Yeah, we can
I'm
pull
like,
back. We can pull back.
Oh my God. But yeah, I agree. Yes, everyone should be able to get the health care they need. In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
Who people really, really, you know, have no other choice but to take a prescription drug. Really should be able to.
So
to get it.
That's kind of the benefit I get from working for this company is I'm learning about this massive industry
Yeah.
that, you know, is
Yeah.
actually serving a purpose in our country. Once again, you can look at it from either way, but it is serving a purpose, and how we can enhance that, make it better and more transparent for everyone involved is kind of our mission. So I think that's pretty cool. I've been with the company now for about a year and a half, and I've enjoyed my time. I think that it's really cool, but once again, my focus is artificial intelligence, and that's what I want to do. And so this is more so just me learning how to best utilize data so that we can build intelligent systems that can help us on a larger scale.
And you know what? You're awesome.
Wow, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Listen, I think in what you said, I think it's right. You feel satisfied with what you're doing. I think that's important. You're or that fortunate.
Yep.
And so, kudos to you.
Yeah.
Because like I said, some people just, they're not happy with what they're doing. They're not happy with their jobs. And so, brava.
Thank you. I mean, that's why I started with I'm so grateful that I get to wake up and do what I love. Because I know that a lot of people, for multiple reasons, maybe haven't been able to find that, don't have access to that, don't have the education
some people
to
are
do
searching,
what they want.
some people, that's right. It's a whole mixed bag of things, right?
It is.
But I'm, thank you. Thanks for being here, number one. Yeah. And I'm glad you like what you do, and you seem like a really intelligent, cool guy. I don't think you'd be friends with Scott Osborne if you weren't.
Exactly.
He's
That's
not
a
hanging
cool guy.
around with any slouches, that's for sure. And I'm sure you're pretty good on the pickleball court.
Oh, yeah.
Playing 72 times a week. So
be close to it.
Oh my gosh. Maxwell, thank you so much.
A pleasure.
And I think that is, I don't know, there might be another surprise friend of Scott's next week, but I think Maxwell has wrapped it up. And like I say, the best for last. So thanks so much for joining us, Cindy Collins, Maxwell
Ogunfunwa.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you
a pleasure.
for just saying it for me, because I'm an idiot.
Thank you so much for having me on.
No, of course. And we'll see you next week, whoever will be sitting in the mystery chair here. Actually, one real quick thing before we go. The first production of the 24-25 season for Actors Theater of Indiana is Ring of Fire. They are in rehearsals right now. It is a show about the life of Johnny Cash. So if you like Johnny Cash, and even if you are not even slightly familiar with Johnny Cash, though I can't imagine people aren't, this show is very, very, very good. Everyone in the show plays multiple instruments and sings, and they are multi-talented, and it weaves through his life. So it has all the Johnny Cash hits. So Folsom Prison Blues, and on and on and on. Ring of Fire, of course, hence the title. So look for that, and if you want tickets, go to atistage.org, or you can just call the box office over there, 317-843-3800, and they'll take care of you. Thanks so much, Cindy Collins, Maxwell Ogunfunwa. God, I probably still said it wrong. And
You did good.
Yeah, right. You did so good, Cindy. All right, thanks so much. See you next week. Bye.